Welcome to the American Free Thinker. Before I get started on today's topic, I want to put out a little reminder of exactly the reason why I'm doing this. Two reasons mainly. One, I don't think we talk about the individual topics enough anymore. There's so much going on, new information, new things, new lies being put out there every day, that we don't concentrate on what's important, which is the topics that have been around since the country started. The second is I just need to get it off my chest. A lot of information that I listen to, and it just gets annoying. So to the topic today. Today's topic: XY and XX, as well as homosexuality and transsexualism. Now, before we get started on the individual topics, this is not going to be a trigger moment. This is not going to be a bashing moment. I think most people will be surprised how it ends up. Before I get talking to the individual topic, I want to make sure everybody understands where I'm coming from, the big picture. I'll refer to it as the umbrella, which is encompassing all the topics. And that is what is actually going on with Marxism, socialism, and big government Democrats, and what they're trying to do. Back in the 30s, or actually the 20s with Wilson, 30s, 40s, FDR, up through the 60s, Marxists, socialists, big government Democrats have been, bit by bit, trying to infiltrate. Everybody knows this, not a secret. But in order for them to take over, in order for them to change our society and our culture, they had to get rid of religion, as well as, and probably even more importantly, the family structure. That's something that the Democrat Party has done already to the minority community, especially the black community. They did it on purpose. And I've mentioned in other videos that they have to do this in order to make government the important part of their life, instead of religion, instead of the family. A strong family unit doesn't need big government. So that's the umbrella that each topic is going to be. The main point is that it's all fake, people. I mentioned it in the immigration audio. I mentioned in the racism audio. It's fake. They need to have a bunch of little groups hate conservatism, hate republicanism. Why? Because conservatism is about family. It's about conserving religion and family and the American dream. The staple, the cornerstone. You'll hear that term a lot in this audio. And so that's the umbrella. Now, before I get into the individual topics, again, I want to point out that the American dream, and it may be different than what most people think it is, but the best way for me to explain it is, whereas I have respect for people who go get multiple degrees, go get higher degrees. That's something to appreciate and respect. And they go after and they the big money, and they make They make 2, 3, 400,000, maybe 1 million, because now they're at the top of the corporate food chain. And obviously I respect that, but that's not the American dream. That's not what is the cornerstone of our culture. What is the cornerstone, what is the most important thing is, well, the best way for me to explain it would be my brother. And as I think about it, it's like, yeah, he is the American dream. And let me explain how. He started out, and again, I don't have the perfect memory, but it seems like it's been more than 20 years with the same company. Started out at the bottom, and I think he just was picking at a salvage yard, up to mechanic, and he's still there. He got married, had a couple children, still married, and the children seem to be good adults. That is the American dream. That is the cornerstone of our society. That is the norm. Or at least it was, right up until recently, when, again, the Marxists, the big government people, realized they had to attack that. And how do they attack that? By angering different groups, by getting them to hate that idea. That idea is what conservatives, Republicans, are all about. So in order for them to tear that apart, they need you to hate that. That leads right into my first topic, which is, well, I'll refer to it as XY or XX. The attack on men and women being different. I laugh at it. It is so nonsensical, and I don't think even a minority of people actually believe it. But I think they're too afraid to speak up against it because they get demonized. The fact is, men are men, women are women. You have something called testosterone and estrogen. This is biology, people. This is science. Men like to tear stuff apart and build stuff up. Women are more of emotional. They're more of people. And when you put those two together, it makes for a perfect lock and key, a perfect puzzle. It comes together. It's perfect. Now, obviously, you can also discuss and talk about how important men and women coming together are as far as keeping our species going. Obviously, again, not something that you can argue about. It's biology. And if that's all that mattered was species, which, back in the day it probably was, thousands of years ago, then you would just have one man continuously having sex with as many women as they can have, and then once those women get pregnant, they give birth. As soon as they're ready to get pregnant again, then another man finds them, and that they just keep doing that, and now boom, your species explodes and it doesn't die out. But that's not what makes a culture. That's not what makes a society. They knew, and that's how America got so strong, and our culture got so strong, and our societies got built up, was this concept, this realization that, and yeah, religion had a lot to do with it as well, of course, is the importance of a man and a woman getting married, having children. Like I said, my brother. Now, if you look at it, just again, don't get triggered, just common sense. If you're a man and you're a woman, and you want to have children. Is it better for your family, society, culture, to have the parents raise the child, or is it more important for the state to raise the child? Again, that's less of an argument of whether men and women are different. So we know it's better if the parents raise the children. Now, let's go to the next point. As far as raising a child, as far as nurturing a child, who would be better? The attributes of a man or the attributes of a woman? Bingo, the attributes of a woman. This isn't rocket science, people. Why are we so afraid of pointing that out? That is the norm. That is the cornerstone of our society that builds our culture here in America, all over the world actually. And here's where I really get annoyed. First, they make it that people don't want to discuss that people are afraid to point that out. Guess what, people? That is the norm. If a man or a woman decides they want to go off, they don't want to get married, they don't want to have children, they just want to make as much money as they want, good for them. That's great. It's America. You can do what you want. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the importance of a man and a woman getting together, getting married, having children. That doesn't take away from that. That doesn't mean the man or the woman is evil. It doesn't even mean they're right or wrong. But the problem is eventually, and I dare to say at least half of them end up kind of missing something. They feel it. Why? Because we are biologically, it's science, that our bodies, that our normal makeup is to procreate. And our normal, for thousands of years, the normal idea is to get together and have a family. And so they start feeling it. Well, I think half of them feel that, and they end up finding someone, getting married, and having kids just later on in life. And they're fulfilled. But the problem starts is when the other half, they know it's there, they feel it, they got some anger inside of them. You can see them. They don't look happy. And they're seeing other people happy, and they just get jealous. And so then they start yelling and screaming about, and they just come up with, oh, it's misogynistic, it's a patriarchal society, and all these big fancy words. And these are the ones out there trying to convince everybody else not to be happy. That's the problem. They're the outliers. Okay? They are the outliers. But that's fine. There's outliers in every part of society. Everything has the norm and then the outliers. The outliers aren't evil or wrong or bad. They're just not going with the norm, and that's fine. That actually leads me to, if a man is sexually attracted to a man, a woman is sexually attracted to a woman, fine. What has happened is these people, the group, the elites, the ones that just want to hate, the ones that want big government, the Marxists, the ones who have to destroy the family, are making a huge deal of something that shouldn't be. Because most people, and I mean a large percentage of people, don't really think about it or care if a man likes a man or a woman likes a woman. We don't care. It's until you start attacking the norm and saying that it's mean or nasty or misogynistic or patriarchal to think a man and a woman having children is the cornerstone of our society. It's what builds our society. Just like if a man wants to go off and never get married, that's fine. They're an outlier. It is what it is. No problem. No different than if a man finds another man sexually attractive, or a woman. Nothing wrong. That's what you decided to do. It's America. We do not have this large group of people that just hate, whether it be immigrants, or hate minorities or blacks, or hate the gay community. It's not real. It's a fake argument. It's just they come together and they say that there are, and they say that people who believe in family traditions are just patriarchal or misogynist or evil. But that's just not true. Even in America, even the most strident, hardline religious people that speak out and say that it's a sin, or that they don't like the lifestyle, it's just a small percentage of them that actually have hate. Most of them are just doing it out of their sense of caring. And let me put it like this. It's real simple. I guarantee you, a man that is sexually attracted to a man thinks that it's disgusting for a man to have sex with a woman. I have a funny feeling in their head they're looking at that saying, "Oh, gross." Does that make that man evil or mean because he doesn't like my lifestyle, which is having sex with a woman? Really? Does that make him evil? No. So why would it make someone evil that thinks that man on man, or a woman loving a woman, is not the lifestyle they prefer? So what? That doesn't mean they think evil thoughts. And like I said, there is not this group of evil people hating. That's just a made-up thing to make people angry and hate conservatives, so you vote Democrat. And I believe that is factual. Now, where I do think that if you want to call it a movement, would be is the equal protection under the law. That's where they have it right. Forcing people to agree with you, you're wrong. You're a fascist if that's what you're going to do. But the equal protection under the law is correct. There's no reason why a man wanting to give all of his possessions, his Social Security, his health care to another man is ridiculous. That's what should have been fought for from the beginning and made sure that you had. It's no different than a couple or married. If you're married and you have children, you get certain tax breaks that a couple that doesn't have children get, or single people get. That's not right. That's illegal. That's unconstitutional. That's not equal protection under the law. That's the same thing as a gay couple not being able to get whatever civil rights that they're allowed. That's where the fight was. That's where the fight always should have been. But my whole point, and remember the umbrella point, is they need you to hate someone. They need you to have a boogeyman. And that boogeyman is anyone who, again, says this is the norm, this is the cornerstone of America. If you don't want to be a part of that, fine. Nobody really is worried about it. There's no reason to attack that. There's no reason to attack religion just because they may not agree with your lifestyle. I guarantee you there's plenty of people out there that think my lifestyle of eating too many Twinkies and Ho-Hos is disgusting lifestyle. Well, in that case it is, so I guess they're probably right. But anyways, I'm going to move on. Now, transsexualism. I separate transsexualism, which I truly believe is evil, They are trying to destroy this country. They are the Marxists and the socialists that are trying to make something out of something, just to destroy, again, our norm, our families, our religion. They are the ones that are saying that it's okay to hormone blockers on children and teenagers. They're the ones that are pushing real hard that men and women are the same, that it's a social construct, and all that foolishness that everyone knows is fake, it's wrong. But they have to have that in order to destroy the religion and the family. Transsexualism is that movement. Transsexual, that's a whole nother topic. That's actually separate. Now this again may seem like another trigger moment, but go with me a little bit and realize where I'm coming from. If a person, a bodybuilder for instance, always has to look in the mirror, and even though they're chiseled, always sees one spot here or there that just is not perfect, and they cannot stop that. They have to work out constantly because of that, because they don't like their body the way it is. They're thinking it's something bad. That's a sickness. Doesn't mean they're just crazy and there's anything bad or evil, but it is. It's a sickness. It's a problem. And it can lead to some serious health problems. Someone who, and it's usually teenage girls, that constantly think they're fat even though they're less than 100 pounds, and they eat and they throw up, or they have bulimia, or they constantly look at their body. We don't allow that. We don't tell girls that's go ahead. As soon as you eat, go throw something up. You're right. You know, you look kind of a little fat. What you see is correct. No, we don't. It's an illness, and it has serious health problems attached to that. We don't make it okay. So why is it all of a sudden someone who wants to do physical harm to their body, that actually has a thought in their head that their body, it's a woman, and they think they're in a man's body, or a man, they should be in a woman's body, and then they want to do surgery and hormone blockers, and that's why it's a 40% suicide rate. Why do we accept that? Why do we just allow that when these people are killing themselves before and after surgery? It's just common sense to me. It's just logic, people. It's not hate. Nobody hates anybody like that. We want to help. We want to say, wait a second, you're perfect the way you are. Why do what you're thinking about doing? Because it's not going to help. Most people, if they have the surgery, they're saying, I'm not really any better, because the suicide rates are the same. So those are each individual points. Just remember the umbrella point that I made today, and that is the people up top, the elitists, the politicians, the leftist Marxist professors, and Hollywood. Hollywood is weird. They are bad people. They're trying to destroy our morals, the moral fabric. And I'm not even talking religion here. I'm just talking normal moral fabric of America, our culture, the family. That is what's causing the problem. People don't hate nearly as much as they want us to believe. They want us to fight. Why? So that they can have power. That's all that it's about. You can go ahead and check everything I said, and I wish I actually had my hope to be someday live broadcast where people can call in, because I would love to have people check me on some points and ask me, because everything I'm saying sure makes sense to me. If you're listening to this on Facebook or YouTube, please go ahead and like it. it's getting more and more evident that the best way to go about it is The American Freethinker at podbean.com. That's my web page. You can become like a member where you get the it instantly alerts you when I post something. So I appreciate you listening. I hope everyone truly understands where I'm coming from, and I hope that you will hear me in about another week. Thank you.